We're talking about kitchen and bathroom remodels, and people often come in and tell me that the process of choosing their materials is very overwhelming. And they ask, how do we go about choosing kitchen cabinets and quartz countertop and flooring, and knowing that we've made the right choice and we're not going to lose sleep by thinking that we may have chosen something that's too trendy, or that we're going to change our mind next week. We have a very specific process that we like to use when we're choosing for both bathrooms and kitchens, and that is that we always start by choosing the cabinets first. And the reason for that is that once you've chosen, let's say that you wanted to have a wood-stained cabinet. You can see that this is painted right here, and this is a solid color here as well. But if we wanted a specific wood species and we wanted a stain, we want to be sure that we choose that first. Because if you have your heart set on a certain kind of wood species and a stain, you want to be sure that you haven't chosen other things that are too busy or that just aren't going to work with it. So that's always the starting place. We start with the cabinets first. Once you've chosen your wood, and specifically if it's a stained wood, then we always want to go to choosing the quartz or the solid color surfaces that are going on top of that. Same sort of reasoning applies to that. I might walk into a showroom with quartz countertops and see several different stones that catch my eye and think, oh, these are really wonderful. But when I bring them in and put it with this wood species that I've already chosen for my wood, I might go, oh gosh, I love the graining in this quartz, I love the graining in this wood, but why is it that they don't work together? So we always want to start to create an ensemble by choosing things in a very specific order. All right, so now we've chosen a wood species and a stain for our cabinets. Now I've chosen a quartz that I think is complementary to that. Now it's time to choose our flooring. Once you've made this selection, you just basically carry it around through different flooring areas and you say, okay, I'm not sure that I was in love with that flooring there before, but as soon as I see it with this, I realize that it's exactly what I need to ground my space. So it's about creating an ensemble and not falling in love with this and this and this at 3 or 4 or 5 different stores and never seeing it together until you bring all these samples in and you realize, oh gosh, I got sidetracked. Personally, I love polka dots. I love stripes. I love paisley. I love checks. I just don't necessarily want to see them all together in the same outfit. After that, then your accent pieces come in. Now I've chosen my countertops, my cabinets, my flooring, and now it's time to bring in some of the fun part, the accent, the backsplash. Sometimes it can be that we just bring the quartz right up to the backsplash. It's a very elegant look. But sometimes, as in this example, we've decided that we have a matte finish on the lower cabinets. That is to say, no shine. We've got basically a matte finish on our floor, no shine. There's some shine to this quartz countertop, but it's not matte, but it's not a high gloss countertop either. So by bringing in a glossy backsplash, it gives us an opportunity to have a little bit of pizzazz. And we always want the most interesting things in the room to be above the waistline, because that's where we live. That's the order that we choose things in. Then the things that come in, things like the plumbing fixtures and the knobs and pulls. Those are the accent pieces. Sometimes we refer to those as the jewelry, especially if you're choosing them in chrome or quartz, different colors of gold, rose gold, all of these things like that. We think of those as sort of the jewelry, the little bit of splash of fun, a finish of the room. So that's the order that we choose things in. And generally speaking, people will come into our showroom very often with a little bit of apprehension and a little bit nervous and say, oh gosh, I went to a flooring place and I was overwhelmed by all the choices and I didn't know where to look. Same thing with tile, same thing with quartz. And when you come in and you have a deliberate plan and you choose things in a certain order, putting things together and creating an ensemble can be not only fun but rewarding, and people always leave smiling and happy that they chose the potential new kitchen or new bathroom of their dreams. So let's suppose that our customers have chosen this natural cherry wood with clear finish stain on top of it, kind of a matte finish, not quite completely flat, but very little shine. Doesn't matter whether we're talking about a kitchen remodel or a bathroom remodel. Beautiful species of wood, nice warm color. The next item that we want to choose to go with this is going to be the quartz countertop. These particular quartz samples are from a company called MSI. We've chosen to become distributors of these because they've got a wide range of white and off-white colors. Tone-on-tone neutrals, creams, taupes, grays, even some of the darker colors, but again, the very, very popular lighter colors like this. And also, to be very honest, they're also really great pricing from MSI. So let's say that our customers are looking at this and they're intrigued by, oh, maybe a piece like this. I would absolutely applaud this decision for quartz countertop for this particular kind of cabinet. You can see that there's a relationship between sort of the light ochre colored veining that's running through this and the natural color of the cherry wood. There's also an undertone in here of some gray, and that gives you permission to step a little bit sideways or to bring in some more coloring. It doesn't matter whether it was going to be with gray towels and gray throw rugs, or whether you wanted to go with a gray accent wall in the space, maybe even gray backsplash tile somewhere. It just gives you permission to put tone-on-tone neutrals together in a complementary sort of way so that you don't end up being kind of a one-trick pony with just one star of the show and everything else in the room is white. Nothing wrong with that if that's your plan. But we often like to give ourselves an option of adding a little bit more color and texture to the room, and having more than one color infused into the space gives you sort of an opportunity to play off from that. Our next step in putting together our ensemble is to choose flooring. What I've got behind me over here is LVP, luxury vinyl plank flooring. This is actually vinyl flooring that looks like wood and goes down in strips. We like to glue it down. It's very cost effective, very hardy, holds up to kids and pets, and a very popular trend in flooring these days. But this over here is LVT, luxury vinyl tile. Basically the same process and the same kind of material, but we would be laying these down in pieces that look like natural tile rather than looking like wood flooring. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've chosen here, our cabinets, our quartz countertop, and just pan it through and see if there's something here that we think would be a great flooring that might be complementary to what we've got. It's not uncommon to have couples come in and choose different materials. Sometimes I'll get couples that will bring me what's essentially the same tile in style, but one of them is lighter or a slightly different color to the other. And it makes the process fairly simple. All we really have to do is put our cabinet choice and our quartz choice close to them, let the couple see them under good quality lighting, and see if there's one that you gravitate toward more than the other. So in this particular case, this is a luxury vinyl tile that is meant to look a little bit like an Italian travertine. You can see that there's actually grout lines here, so that it looks as if we've set a real piece of tile down and grouted it. So in this particular case, both of these would be great. We've got this little bit of gray veining in our quartz here, and it works with the gray in this particular floor. This one over here is just slightly darker, and it has a little bit of a gray undertone, but it has just a little bit of the ochre color sort of dusted through it as well. Either one of these floors would be perfectly acceptable. It's just a matter of taste and your choice of which one you prefer to have. So now that we've chosen our flooring, in most cases our next step would be to choose a backsplash tile. In this particular case, I'm going to say we want to do something a little different. The veining on this quartz is so unique that we should let it be the star of the show. I would be suggesting to clients to let the quartz be the backsplash as well. Now we're going to be choosing the color of our plumbing fixtures. We'll start off with some bathroom fixtures here. And this is a standard brushed nickel. A lot of people have this and love it. Oil rub bronze, another popular choice. Beautiful organic colors, works just great. Maybe you're thinking something a little more trendy. These days, a lot of colors of gold are available. There's the ever popular matte black. This particular one, of course, is a kitchen faucet. So you can see there are a lot of color options these days for our plumbing fixtures. But if you do like the classic chrome, we've got beautiful chrome pulls. Our customers have chosen this matte black kitchen faucet, and now we've gone and chosen cabinet pulls to go with it. In this particular case, they've chosen a nice matte black finish to reference the color of the faucet, and they've stayed with a very sleek, simple, non-embellished design to go with the sleek and contemporary design of this particular faucet. One of the great new trends in plumbing colors for fixtures is this rose gold color. You may choose to have this be the accent color for your kitchen, in which case you'd be choosing something that worked with it, like these beautiful rose gold pulls. Oil rub bronze, another popular color in plumbing fixtures. And we've got lots and lots of cabinet pulls to choose from. In this particular case, the scale and the shape of this beautiful oil rub bronze cabinet pull complements the faucet. A slightly traditional brushed nickel pull is paired with the traditional brushed nickel faucet, but don't be afraid to think outside the box. Maybe what your room really needs is a little bit of sparkle. All right, so now you've seen Dickey's processes for choosing materials for your projects. If you have an interest in a bathroom remodel or a kitchen remodel and you'd like to contact Dickey's, please feel free to contact us at www.dickeys-inc.com, or feel free to call us and book an appointment for our showroom. These videos have been shot in our showroom, by the way. We've got a very comprehensive showroom for kitchens and bathroom remodels. If you've got a project that you're interested in speaking about, by all means, give us a call.